And so now we basically discussed about the advantage of training need assessment yesterday in the last session. We are basically talking about how learning and development is set up. This session is all about what are those different tools and methods that we use in setting up a LND framework for any organization. Training is not the only thing that LND does. A general perception is learning and development means developing training, organizing training, and training the employees, isn't it? But yes, there are too many things that are beyond training, and that is what we are going to cover in this session. So the process wise, yes, we had discussed it in the past also. Every time when we are talking of a learning intervention or learning a method, there has to be a purpose, there has to be a need. So let's say if you are trying to create a solution, like today we are trying to create these policies, we are trying to create this. Why? Because there is an organization called Edmingle which is struggling to manage their manpower, and we are trying to solve their problem. So first thing first, there has to be a purpose for each program. Trainings are Each training has its own purpose. It's not a statutory thing that it need to be given. So whenever we talk of training, we have to think about the purpose first. From the purpose, we come to the needs. What exactly do we need to cover in that, or what is it that you are trying to address? What are the gaps that we are trying to bridge? Then we think of what is the potential solution to solve this problem. So first thing is a problem. Need is the causes of that problem. Then we think of a solution. How do we solve this problem? Then we select a tool, and then we implement it. There's a short life cycle of the learning intervention or learning program. So it's like, when we are not well, we're down with fever. That is a symptom. That is a problem. We go to a doctor, doctor investigates it, does certain tests, checks fever, does so many things. That is the assessing the needs. What are the causes for this problem? Once he identifies the causes, he thinks of a solution, whether to give medicine, whether to give injection, whether to, whatever. And then the best possible solution is chosen, the tool is chosen, and your medication begins. So same is the life cycle for a training thing. Each training is there for a purpose. So each training is solving a problem. So we need to have a problem, then we need to do an assessment, identify a solution, find the tools, and then implement it. Lakshmi, this is clear?
Yeah, it is clear from my side
Yeah,
also.
yeah.
I'll move. Any question, just stop. These are the different L&D methods that we use. You might have heard of some, you might not have heard of some. Training is the most important one, most popular one. There is a problem, give them a training, give them the right skill, and this training we all know. Currently, also, what we are doing is a training. Then there is something called task and job rotation. A lot of companies do this. I don't know if you have, I'm sure you would have experienced it. I think, Lakshmi, you were telling me, that you have been given multiple responsibilities, multiple tasks that were not your original task.
True.
Companies keep doing this job rotation and tasks so that you develop newer skills, and then you can be more productive in different scenarios. So task or job rotation, coaching, mentoring are overused terms, so everyone knows these days because every second person is a coach or a mentor. So do you know the difference between the two?
I understand that coaching is a paid service and mentoring is a
No, they,
just on the service.
no. They both are paid services.
So mentoring will guide you through this situation from start to finish. Coaching would be just give it to.
Correct. There's much better, Coaching is more about giving a perspective and making you do. Mentoring is more of a personalized approach where the involvement of mentor is more. You know, Generally, at a top level, at a senior level, it is not mentoring, it is coaching that is being done. You see, there are a lot of leadership coaches who works with leaders. Why? Because leaders, it's not that they don't know. They just need to be given, they just need to be made to think differently. So coaches is generally a more personalized approach, a one-to-one kind of thing. Mentoring is more, of a guiding thing where we make you to do something. So mentoring is generally at a lower level where, you need more involvement of a mentor. So it's more where mentor guides you how to do it. Coach is more of your own. Coach is only, showing you the direction. Then there are workshops, committees, the work groups. Simulations are something that are becoming very popular these days. Gamification, simulation, automation, these are all different approaches. Conferences, on the job development, self study. 360-degree performance review is more of, knowing about your feedback and the career planning. How many of these methods you know and how many of them
So, what is on the job development? Is it like
on the job development is currently what you're doing? You have been put on a project and everything is coming to you. You will be attempting to create it. And I'm just guiding you. You are learning things on the job. You're not learning things in the classroom. Though we are connecting in a session to guide you, but mostly the learning is on the job. You learn by doing. You may make mistakes. When we started job survey, yes, we made a mistake there. But that was a learning.
correct?
Will not treat it as a mistake. That was a learning curve. Next time, whenever you are doing it, you know what mistake not to make.
True.
So that is what on the job learning or development is.
So, for me, simulation is a new thing.
Simulation is, the video games that you play is a simulation. These days, especially pre-COVID, was there we were going to shopping malls, and all these malls had those gamification. They'll put something on your eyes, and then visually you can see as if you are in a space. These are new games that have come up. The co-working space where we were working from, they had this. They give you a racket, and then on a screen, and you play tennis there. So these were virtual things. This was in reality you were not playing any game there, or though there was no physical game. They create a situation, they create a thing, and then you feel that you are doing it. Those are what a simulation is.
It's like in Maruti for learning car driving, they have a stimulation.
That is a simulation. You go to RTO office for a license. They give you a simulator where you sit and feel as if you are driving a car, and they judge you on it. Bangalore, we have a planetarium. I don't know if you have visited it or not.
Long time back.
That is also a simulation kind of a thing. You get a feel that you are in a space.
True.
Now, those simulations are what these simulations. Let's say this customer support process that Vinay was explaining it. They can create a simulation. They can create an animated thing. So someone wants to know, let's say a new joinee comes and sees how customer support processes, they can run a small animation film. This is all simulation. This is all gamification. And I had, let me see if I have this still. Last year, there were a couple of girls from Narsi Monji, sorry, Christ University, who were interning with me, and they had created a similar, they had created a gamification tool for some hotel and all. I'll see if I have that. You can get a better feel. So it's more of, instead of showcasing you, it runs like a movie in front of you. And why we call it gamification? Because it makes you to participate. Getting it? It's like when you do quizzes on computers. You interact with it, no? You participate in it. So that is also kind of a gamification. It's like a lot of video games have that, no? You're playing a game, the next level gets open up after you reach to a certain level. So
Can,
you
can
make
we just simplify it just like as an experiential learning?
experiential learning is something a little different.
Means learning by doing.
That is learning by doing.
Okay.
What it is more of, to help you visualize it better.
How does stimulation help in L&D methods, sir? Like,
I have to teach you about how to they do this customer service. I have created a simulation. Whenever you have time, just read it, go through it. More of a self-learning thing. A lot of YouTube videos are there, no? You want to learn something, you want to know something, you search on Google, a lot of YouTube videos open up.
I just share my own example
Mm,
of Maruti, this driving school.
mm,
Way back 4 months means when I just learn about how to drive a car.
mm,
I never gathered any this confidence. I always
mm,
require someone sitting beside me, helping me out how to change the gear and other things.
mm,
But when I just go to this Maruti driving school, just for 2 days, I am on the simulator, and
mm.
that guy told me, "No, you are having all those things in your mind, but you are not using it." So in this way, I learned about how to drive a car. Now it's almost 1 year, and driving this car very easily.
Correct. So it gives you that kind of an environment. It
Yes,
creates that kind of an environment where you can practice. And there is no scare that you are on a road and someone will come and hit you. So you are safe. It is more of a virtual or a false environment that gets created for you. And that's what simulation is. Once you create it and then people can keep it reusing it. It's like you record a training. Now we are recording today's session. You can read it, view it any number of times, no? So it adds reusability since it's a simulation, since it is more interactive. So there are different these LND tools, but then yes, the most commonly used method is training. But training is not the only method. There are so many other methods. Let's see the details of each one of them. Training we all know, so it's more of a guided thing where there is a trainer, there is a lesson, there are attendees, and then the skills are delivered or the sessions are delivered. So I'll not. The in trainings also could be there are different kind of trainings. There are classroom trainings which are instructor led, or there could be live trainings like we are currently doing, where virtually we are creating a classroom kind of a scenario. So we have classroom based training, we have instructor led training, we have e-learning. So Lakshmi, have you used any e-learning as so far?
So I think the skill hub what you're having, no, that's
The
e-learning.
kind of content that you study on the portal is also e-learning.
Yes. So I had a question, sir.
Hmm.
How will I have access to these contents?
Yes. You have not used it?
Using it, I went through it. I want.
Hmm.
How long will I have? It's like for short time, or is it like long term? Or
See, typically it is till the end of the program. But last year also, whoever has done it, have continued their access.
okay,
Till the time you are getting benefited with it, please use it.
okay, sir.
So that is different kind of programs, we e-learning. There is informal learning where YouTube videos are there, reading educational blogs, going to different forums. But these are all training methods. And I hope you are much aware of all these training methods. So I'll not spend too much of time in it. It is more of a guided session. You can always ask if you need a question. Task or job rotation. As I said, no. One way to make you learn is to give you a task, you do it, and you learn it. Like currently you are doing in admin. No, you know what job description is. You might have read about competencies also, but now the real learning will happen when you create it, when you implement it. And that is what is learning by doing. That task or a job rotation makes you and you know gives you the opportunity to. A lot of companies do this. A lot of companies create this opportunity for their employees where they are given additional tasks, different tasks. They do it like my whole career is a result of these additional tasks given to me. I started my career as a trainer.
I think it
Someone,
also. So I also think sometimes it kinds of engages, right?
see, you find it exciting. See, you have been sending me messages that you are liking this live project, right?
Yes, sir.
It engages you. You see a real happening. If a right task is assigned, that is the best way to teach people. Classroom will I'll keep talking, you'll keep listening, then you will forget. But whatever you are doing in that project is going to remain with you for a longer duration. Not that it is permanent, but it is going to stay for a longer
Yeah,
duration.
yeah. It will stay.
Hmm.
This like this Edmingle project is like I feel like I'm walking into a fire.
No, it's not fire.
Not really, but like it's like being more cautious. Yes, yes.
No, because it's the first time you are doing it.
Yes, yes.
And because in the past, whatever you have done, you had a very little exposure on HR. Probably Ishat had little more, Mansi had a little exposure. I have done this all throughout my 2 decades, so I know this. And which is why you are finding it a little challenging. I have gone through all these challenges in my corporate life. I have been assigned tasks that I had not never done. And those were some of those very strategic tasks. Tally education, if I talk about, this was about 2010. They had decided to change the whole business model, the education business model. And this was the dream of MD and owner of the organization. The task was given to some senior people. They couldn't meet his expectation. And in one of the board meeting, my boss roped me in. And imagine you are sitting in a board meeting where MD of the company, chairman of the company, and all the top leaders are sitting, and you are asked to present your thoughts, and you are like, I was like really nervous inside, but I gave them some ideas, and that was an instant hit. The MD said, Vivek, please create something and send it to me. I had sent him a mail. The very first mail he said, please create this. I want to see the execution of it. And my boss, who was, at a very top level in the organization, he said, Vivek, what is this? Just one meeting you could impress them. And sir, I just do the job. And I created and rolled it out, and that whole process was implemented. I had never done it before, but then I also learned. And whenever you do these things, you will be very nervous. They will all look like fire. But then unless there is a fire, how will you learn? And so my role is to give you troubles, to give you challenges. How will you overcome them is will determine how will you learn them. Chalo, so task or job rotation is one method which a lot of companies use. Coaching, while talking of coaching, is generally used at top level, at the senior level or a leadership level. It is usually a hands-on approach to skill development, and ideally for developing skills like you know you create opportunity and let them do it. Like again, in the case of Edmingle, what you guys are doing, you are doing on your own.
Yeah.
I just jump in between and criticize you and go back. But the whole purpose is to show you the direction. I'm coaching you. I'm not teaching you. I'm not teaching you there. So coaching and mentoring are often, interchangeably used, but coaching is generally done at a senior level, and mentoring has more involvement. Coaching has little involvement. Coaching is more like, creating an opportunity and giving it to you, and then guiding you. So mentoring and coaching are two very common and popular tools that are happening these days. Companies do this. Your performance, see, let's say you as an individual, your performance is not good. Now, how can I help you improve the performance? I can give you a training. I can put you in a team under a mentor, or I can coach you. So there are different methods of doing it. So coaching and mentoring is also a training tool. Mentoring is where the senior leaders, are involved, and they take the junior staff under their wing to help develop important skills that the mentored individual might lack. We put you on something and we guide you, we make you, we give you assignments, you do it. So in the classroom, I'm mentoring you. But when you are in the Edmingle thing, I'm coaching you. Mentoring has more engagement and more involvement. Is this clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, yes.
Then there are workshops or committees or work groups. You've seen a lot of workshops happen where you work as a team on certain thing and come out with a solution. Companies do this. We corporates there are a lot of workshops that keep happening. Like we had attended a lot of workshops when we were in Tally. We had a workshop on time management. We had a workshop on planning. We had a workshop on how project management is done. Now, how is this where a group is called, given some guidance, and then small assignments are given, and you solve the problem there. It's not that a classroom you go back, you study the sessions, go back and you do something at home. It's there only that you attempt to solve a problem. It's like learning by doing. So workshop is a more hands-on approach of training. Like in couple of sessions we did this, no? We tried creating a job description. We tried creating competencies. That was a workshop method of working where, you do a hands-on kind of a training. Hmm? Simulations we had discussed, and simulations are more of automated flows. It's a computerized games that are created just to give you a feel of it. You would have seen a lot of videos. You just go to Google and check how to. You try how to do anything, how to know how to format your phone, and you will get a video. The video, instead of reading text not everyone can understand. It's little difficult. But if we picturize you, if we give you some images and to learn the learning becomes easier.
Just recalls me, there's a website called typing.com, so where one can learn the typing.
They have simulators.
Yeah.
You can learn typing there. So simulation is another way of helping you learn.
Vic, there is also one training known as a T group.
Okay?
T group means training methodology is there, and it is more related to simulations. In-tray training is there. Mostly this ISAP people used to use this methodology.
I remember I have come across this. I think this is a combination of simulation as well as a
Yeah.
workshop methodology.
So that's why I was just remembering about the word simulation.
I've read something about it where it's a combination of simulation and workshop,
Yeah.
virtual workshop. It's like people from different parts get together, they see some videos, they consult it, they discuss it, then they create something.
Yes.
i
This
had
is
I had been a part of one group. There was a girl from Sweden or some country who was doing some survey on learning and development. The girl was Indian but studying there. She approached me, and then she had created a small group where this approach was used. So there was a tool that they were using, and through that tool, each individual was a presenter,
yes.
and it was a project that they created, and each contributor was contributing to that project. An overall project design was made. So that is again, how virtually you do a team sessions,
Yeah.
how virtually you collaborate and do some activity. That is becoming popular now, like conferences. Now Zoom session is only we are talking about it. What Ishrat is talking about is where where you can contribute with whatever you're doing. It's like we create that Google shared file, no, that everyone can work on that file. So it's kind of a shared platform where each contributor adds to it. So these are all different methods on the job development, like what you are doing for Edmangal. Though you are not on the rules of Edmangal, but we assume we are working with them closely. Otherwise, typically what organization does is they give you some job which is not a routine job for you, and that's where you learn. While doing on the job, you learn things, and there's one good way of, and this keeps people motivated and engaged also. Though not everyone is motivated and engaged, but yes, those who want to learn are happy with it because they see a growth. This is ideal for where while on the job exposure is typically good for work specific skill development. No, you just want you're learning something which is very specific to your work. and you learn by doing it. So you better visualize the learning. Self-study is another way of learning. Each one of us is doing these days. We read a lot of content. Just 1 second. Huh?
Ishrit, sir?
Ji,
So how do we go about for the intra-department communication? Should we not ask, right? No need, I think. It's a full stop, right?
right, we'll just leave it. We'll
Yeah.
discuss it on later platform. We'll go first with this policies,
First year, sir.
and I'll be working on those designing of JDs for the
Okay.
new roles.
So I would like to understand how you're creating the JDs. Maybe we can have a discussion later.
Sure. Because they have given us the entire Excel sheet for us. So we'll align it with the responses of the participant
Okay.
and somehow come to a conclusion that these are the things that is required. As
Okay.
Vivek has used that term, the term was at that time, what is the thing that is required? If we are not doing it, then it is being hampered over there.
Sorry, please come again.
If we are not doing that particular thing, the entire job is being stopped or stuck up. Suppose if we are not having this one, means on the job thing, what will happen? We haven't come to understand what is the intensity of this work.
Sir, I had another question.
Yes,
What was the purpose of the agenda of the call?
agenda was of the this communication protocol.
No, the call, because first thing I heard the recording again, he said, I'm not understanding why he did not know the agenda of why we had a call at 1 o'clock.
Okay, so it means this Prashant has not given him any clue about it, or even Sushmita.
So I think
They
some,
uh, somewhere it just mess up. So
yeah, because
that's why
and we were all like, what do you say?
it's a learning, man. It's a learning.
It's a learning, sir. And I think next time with like this call, I think 1 or 2 people should be there in the virtual call, not so many people. I mean, I felt.
No matter. I'll discuss it post session.
Mm. This is my observation. What I did, I know I may be wrong also, but
Don't keep things in your mind right now. Just forget it.
I'm just asking. No, sir,
Yeah.
because each experience, no, we learn. We learn. See, more than mistakes, we are learning. We are learning a beautiful lessons.
Yes. That's the main thing we are learning. So becoming a great learner, it is also a great task right now because we are
Yes.
taking all the responsibility of others also.
Yes.
So that's why I've written a mail over there. We just keep it to our priorities. Like you people are having priorities for HR policies, Mansi is for creating this satisfaction, and myself for JDs.
Yes.
So let's keep it and work out it till this weekend and find some solutions.
Sure, sir.
Okay?
So now you're working as a sales or in HR now, sir?
Actually, I was intent to work for HR, but somehow I just got involved into sales. So sales is my passion right now, rather saying for HR. But learning for HR is still there. So that's why I'm quickly taking all those things from you people, how things are going. He's having a long call right now. Don't worry, Lakshmi. things sometimes happen with us also.
No, sir, because even carefully also, if we are working out some way, we are missing out something. That's what my mind is like. How should we do it next time?
Uh, Actually, I just like to add one thing, Lakshmi, right now here. Since Vinay is taking care of sales, he could be a personality of this one, open personality, but he was just a closed personality. There are two words, no? So that's why he was not opening up.
Sorry, Chiru, we are back.
No, no issues.
Second. So self-study, we all know what it is. There's another learning. Why we are talking about all these things is because now LND has to, now LND is more about arranging the resources for learning. The role of LND is not to create training programs. The role of LND is to create a need for learning, arrange the resources, and employee will learn on their own. These days, no, the training is also an issue. And with a lot of people working from home, it's very difficult to get them in one room and make them sitting. So it's better if you have such kind of self-learning resources and they feel the need of it, they can learn on their own. So the whole idea is why we are discussing all these methods and tools is because training is not the only method. You have to inculcate this culture of learning. You have to enable them to learn. You need to know what are the different tools of making them learn. And that's where we are discussing all these tools.
So what I understand is L&D is basically for resource management.
L&D is basically about knowledge management.
Knowledge.
It is basically about developing a culture of learning and arranging the resources for learning. And there can be these different resources. There could be simulation, there could be self-study, there could be training, conferences, workshops. Depending on situation, depending on need, depending on requirement, an appropriate method can be used. Right?
Right.
Now 360-degree performance reviews, and there's more of a method of a feedback. So when I give you feedback, you also learn something more, which is why I have added it as a learning method.
Sir, if I recall, you said that you will be sending us a psychometry assessment test, that we can.
Mansi had sent it to yesterday, no?
Okay, which one
MBTI
should?
is there.
MBTI is shared, and that there was one more that shades. We will
This is
discuss that. We will discuss that
5
separately.
factors.
5 factors, yes.
So we have to fill it and send it to you.
No, I'll tell you.
Okay, sir, sure.
I've not yet gone through it.
Okay.
So 360-degree review, you know what it is?
Yeah, it's a review from your peer, from your superior, from your customer.
Correct. So the whole gamut of people you are interacting with is we try covering it. You know why we do it?
To get an unbiased review.
Correct. If only your superior gives a view, the view could be biased. If only your peers give the view, they can be biased. But everyone, if they have the same view, then there must be seriously something wrong with you. So that's the whole thing. Career planning is another important thing which HR must be doing. Each employee is concerned about their career. And HR, as an HR, you must understand what their career goals are and how you can help them achieve that. Beyond a point, it is not about the organization alone. It is also about the individual.
I just like to ask a point over here, Vivek. I've never seen any this 360-degree performance in practical actually. how it is being written by others, the internal and other people. Do you have any copy of this one?
No, we do not have a copy, but yes, we implemented this in Tally. So
Okay.
how it happens is we had a complete automated system.
Yeah.
So it's like, let's say your performance appraisal is being done.
Hmm.
You had filled your self appraisal.
Okay.
I'm your boss. I go through that and I give my rating to you. Lakshmi is your colleague.
Yes.
We also ask certain things from Lakshmi about you. It's not about the complete appraisal form that goes to Lakshmi. Certain aspect of you that we take feedback from her. Then Mansi is also your colleague. So I will take the same feedback from Lakshmi and Mansi. Maybe Pragya is working under you in your team. We'll take feedback from Pragya about you. Maybe from, let's say,
Prashant
Prashant
also.
because he is a vendor. Now, a decision about you or a perception about you is formed after going through all these reviews and methods. So it's not a written document, something. It is more about we take feedback about you on certain aspect of it.
Okay.
Your work related thing, your boss will say. Typically, it is about your behavior that we talk your colleague and peers and team members. So it's like taking the feedback about you.
Just like taking feedback, means it covers around 70% from the immediate supervisor,
See,
and 30% aspect.
immediate supervisor basically rates you on the task
G.
because only he is aware of what task was given to you and what you have done.
Yes.
The others appraise you on your behavior, your competencies. Sorry. Career planning is another important aspect because each individual is concerned. When came out of my corporate life, because I was also concerned about my growth. I see, I was kind of saturated. I knew the kind of role I am in, there is nothing more to. I cannot keep repeating doing. Plus, somewhere I was also concerned what would be my future. What will I do 1 year, 2 year, 3 years down the line? And this is where I was looking for some different domain because every time, there's a limit, a level up to which you can go. And that's also HR must develop their people in doing a career planning.
Sir, I like to share my experience of two people.
Hmm.
I remember working them. I was working in a five-star resort in Jaipur as an HR. So I had one F&B youngster who was working there, and I saw there was a lot of spark of potential with him. He was very well organized and everything. So I used to encourage him. So like there in that hotel, we used to have monthly. We will motivate the employees to work well. That's why we did this cross-department training. And every month we will spend 10-15 minutes time talking about their positives and encouraging them. And there are many people who are still in touch with me now. In that boy today is now having his international hotel resource management center. And even till today, sir, even for the Teachers' Day or whatever, he'll always call me, tell me his development, and always says, "Ma'am, I always remember your encouragement and your motivation."
It is very fulfilling.
Very fulfilling, sir.
I have a lot of my students who are in very senior positions. I have a student who is, he was VP with Citibank and those private banks in the IT part of it. And a couple of them, one is on my birthday, they will certainly send me a message.
Mm.
And then on Teachers' Day. I very well remember this was in 99, 98. I was in one of the training institute in Delhi. I was teaching there, and there is this boy who was from a very middle class family, a government employee. He was, I think, doing some graduation thing, and this boy was very slow. He was sincere, but he was very slow, and he was so sincere and so honest. I always loved that guy, and we always, and you have seen how I interact. So I had this habit of personalizing. This boy is today doing pretty well. He is the same guy who is at a very senior level in Citibank. Everyone can forget, he never forgets. He said, "Sir, whatever I am today, it's because of you. Because this is the motivation that you give. And that is what you as an HR has to do. So what you did in that resort, you not only helped him improve or grow, he would have also contributed to the organization. Because if you are not happy, if you are not motivated, you will not contribute. And that is again the role of HR. So the HR, and if you see, a lot of organizations are doing a lot of money investment on this. They take you to executive MBAs. They take you for leadership programs. They invest a lot of money so that you improve, you develop, you grow, and you take the business forward. So this is also an L&D tool. So companies plan. High potential candidates are identified and they are put on a better training map, development map, so that they can prepare themselves for the leadership roles. The training delivery methods are, as simple. You have instructor-led training, the classroom sessions. You have virtual classroom that we are currently doing. You have e-learning that you read on the portal. Mobile learning, very soon our mobile app would be, hopefully next Monday, mobile app is live. You all can read the content there. Though it is the same content, but again, that is mobile learning. And then there is a blended learning. What we are doing is also kind of a blended learning. You read some content online, then you come to a classroom, we discuss that. So it's a blend of, instructor led as well as e-learning. We are just introducing you on what are the different methods so that, depending on the situation and scenario, you can decide which method would be good for your organization. I'll not go into the detail of it, that we all know. Any doubt on any of these?
No, sir.
So this was the session about the different methods of L&D that can be used, or different tools. So we have understood how the need assessment is done, or what is need assessment. We have understood about the different learning methods. Next session we are going to create a training program. This is what is, we will see what are the instructional design methodology that we use to design programs. Ishrad would have read all those things because he did this projects also.
Yeah.
But this would be an interesting thing for you, Lakshmi.
Okay.
How to design a training program. How to create a program that engages your audience. Instructional design is that art that helps you create a program that can engage the audience. So that we are going to do in the next session. Let me just stop the recording first. So we will end the session here today.
Okay.
Coming back to our thing, that I think, Ishrad, we should be very clear on what we are doing.